Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Coffee and Conversation. My name is Ria, and I am your host today, right here on Yachting International Radio. And I'm really pleased to welcome back our special guest, Sarah. How are you today?
Great, Ria. How are you? I'm very happy to be here again from Shanghai.
Good. Yeah, we're so pleased to have you all the way from Shanghai. Now, those of you that follow our show, we had Sarah on about a month and a half back in regards to Yacht Life, Love the Ocean, a new sort of lifestyle show that they are doing out of China. And as a result of that show coming to headlines, we were able to get a glimpse into some of the many other things that you do. You're not just this one show. You have quite a history of doing sort of lifestyle shows, and you now have a new YouTube channel that you put up with some of those shows that we are able to watch. Tell us a little bit about, the shows that you were doing in lifestyle.
Okay, so actually, we started to produce lifestyle shows. These are branded content shows about 9 years ago, right? For example, one of our most popular show is called Connoisseur Wine Show, and then we're still producing it right now, and this 6, 7 seasons now. And then on this show, it's basically one educational show to educate Chinese consumer about wine education, wine culture, and then it's a lifestyle show. So in each episode, me and one expert, could be one maker, could be one owner, and we chat about wines, Italian wine, French wine, American wine, and we sip it, we try it. Sometimes we have food with it, so we have wine and food pairing. So the show was is very popular, and many people came up to me saying that they got into wine business because of the show, and sometimes some of them say they got into drinking wine because of our show, our connoisseur wine show. Right? So I'm like honored. Okay, wow, well, that's pretty cool. I didn't know. So
Well, you were also awarded an award for this show as well. You got
yeah,
an award for education.
IGE, yeah, they give us the word the best producer of educational program. Yeah, it is an educational show, but still I want to stress it's a lifestyle show because the style of the show is very relaxed. It's like two friends chatting. Chatting, drinking about wine. It's like friends, like you say, coffee. It's not coffee, but it's like chatting over wine. So,
Yeah.
and I think this is one thing about our show. It's very relaxed, fun, and enjoyable. This is what many fans told me. Said, "Oh, Sarah, when I watch your show, I feel like life is beautiful." I'm like, "Wow, that's such a compliment." It's great we have like certain impact on people's life. Another show, besides one show, Connoisseur One Show, we also have many other shows. One of them, for example, is cooking show called Dining with David and Sarah. So David Nares. He's very well-known Greek Australian chef in Shanghai. So on this show, he teach me how to make Western dishes. I'm terrible with with cooking, so he shows me very fast. I'm like, oh wow! So it's very funny, and the show is so much fun. And people like download the video, put on the pad, and leave the pad in the kitchen. They watch
Yeah.
the video and they do the cooking. Cook the dish David did. And then I run into fans in the supermarket and said, "Oh, Sarah, I just watched that episode. Making the tiramisu. I'm looking for that cheese. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's so fun. But anyway, so in the past many years, we've been producing a lot of lifestyle shows, including about wine, about food, about cooking, about baking, about coffee, and about learning English, and also about learning English through watching American TV show, and I'm so many shows. And then recently we said we want to branch out. We don't want to just focus on one on the food. I mean, it's great, one on the food, but we want to branch out the whole lifestyle thing. That's why we produced the Yacht Life show we talked about before. Yacht Life or Love the Ocean. It's about travel. It's about luxury living. It's about yachting. So now we are like more lifestyle, including many things. But anyway, so yeah, I just started the YouTube channel, but it's very difficult to access YouTube in China. So it's difficult. It takes some time. I'm doing gradually. Now only not so many videos, but I'll do it, upload more and more, you know.
Well, we're lucky because I was able to. I mean, there are 4 up now on your YouTube channel, and what's great about them is that they're in English, so I can understand, and so can, you know, anybody that speaks English can understand, which is absolutely great. And they're great shows. They're, as you said, they're very relaxed, they're very chilled out, and it's just enjoying. Now, you have a social media following of well over 1.5 million people in China. Is it because you think the Chinese culture is very much into enjoying life when it comes to eating and drinking and relaxing with their families? Is that part of the culture there?
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, because you know, on one hand, this is one side of Chinese culture. We enjoy food. You know, but you know, if you've been China, you see so many types of food cooking. You know, cuisine. So eating food, eating and outing and dining is a big thing. Is a big part of our lives. You know, some of the restaurants, if the food is good, you know, they do so well. You know, people are waiting out in a line to get the food, you know, because they want to eat the food. So people always going out together, going to dinner together with their friends, with their family. You know, Chinese New Year is coming up, of course, and going out together is a big deal. And then on the other side, of course, which we're not talking about this time, is of course a very competitive education. We really, you know, emphasize, you know, education, get good education. Your parents always want you to go to good school. So that's another side of the Chinese culture. But today we talk about, yes, yeah, we like to, you know, food and wine is a new culture because it's more Western culture. We have our own wine, but we got Chinese liquor, but not we're talking about the wine. So yes, food culture is huge here. Food culture is huge. We love food, you know. So anybody come to visit China, they'll be amazed all the food here.
Well, I'm going to have to come to China because I am a food lover, and you know, there's only 4 of these episodes up here, but I tell you, each one of them I've watched a couple of times, and I'm very jealous of what you do because in a perfect
So
world, that
much.
would be me.
So much.
But I will
food
have
here.
to visit you. I will have to visit you because it looks
You have
absolutely
to.
amazing.
You have to.
So
Yeah.
tell us what is coming up next for you. I mean, you are obviously continuing not only the show Perfect Pairing, you still have, as you say, Connoisseur is continuing, and you've got the yacht show. What else? What else can we expect from you in the future?
Oh, okay. So, maybe I start from what we do, what I do. Like, we digital marketing slash media company based in China. So we promote brands, could be Western brands, Chinese brands. We promote marketing them. There's 3. I tell people 3 aspects of our job. One is video content marketing. That's what we are talking about. Video content marketing. So lifestyle shows, right? Video. Social media, and in China, many is Weibo, WeChat, and some other things, and also offline events. I also do events, and then I do my own Sarah's afternoon tea events and
Yes.
weekend evening events, and also I also do events for clients, for brands that want me to promote, to host the events. So video, social media, and events. There's 3 factors we combine together to promote brands. This is maybe overall we should call content marketing. You know,
Yeah.
content marketing, including those aspects, or digital marketing, or social, or whatever. It's overlapping. You know, content, video,
Yeah.
social media, all combined together, and so the video is a big part of us, right? We have those shows I mentioned. We started years ago, and then we have new show, and also we are developing new shows from our Yacht Life, Love Ocean. We are branching out to like a travel, travel,
Yeah.
fashion, and so now I'm working with a lot of like makeup and jewelry brands. Many of
Yeah.
them contact me and they want me. I do social media marketing for them. Sometimes at my events, I do events marketing for them. So it's not just the food and wine. So it's the whole lifestyle. And so video for the video lifestyle shows. we would love to do. We're trying to develop some travel shows, and we're talking to a few brands, also government agencies, about shooting outside China. Of course, Yachting is one of them. Yacht Life, we're working on developing more episodes, and some other like connoisseur show, but travel, but not shooting in Shanghai, but travel in the wineries, outside China, and also some other travel shows. So from those lifestyle thing, fields, could be travel, makeup, fashion, and then social media. Well, I'm always there. And offline events, I'm also very interested. I keep on doing my own personal Sarah's afternoon tea, Sarah's evening networking one, and also I would like to do some little bigger scope of events. Maybe B2B, maybe just a little bigger events for maybe for travel, for food and beverage sectors. This is the thing I'm thinking about next year, and New Year's coming up. I would like to do more events, bigger events. Probably start from China. So we're talking to different people, and also outside China, in Thailand, some brands, luxury brands, luxury properties, they want us to bring Chinese people there for the events. So it's like all different aspects of it. So video is
So
part of it.
is most of what you do then, is it targeted towards the ultra high net worth individuals? Because in speaking, we're talking about some of the best brands in makeup. We're talking about some of the most amazing fashion. Your travel is yachts, for example. All of these are very luxury end of the marketplace. Is this where your focus is?
I would say, including that, very high, in
High
very
end.
high income consumer, and also middle class. Middle class, of course, is a huge, right, in China. It's bigger and bigger. I want to say middle class and mid upper class and go up. So it's like from middle class going all the way up. It
So
depends
when it
what
comes
the product.
Sorry, when it comes to right now there is a huge sort of shift in focus for the world in general, because they are seeing the figures come out of China saying that they are creating, China as a whole is creating more billionaires every day than the US, and this is the first time in history. So are you finding that companies are looking to market to China?
Yes, I almost, if it's not every day, I have to say every other day, I got brands contact me on LinkedIn or sometimes email, and then they want to come to China market so often from everywhere. I mean, some of them from Europe, some of them from other countries, many. And if we are talking about business, there's the other side. Other side they are not aware is that China is. I mean, it's a huge market, of course. Everybody knows with the population, it's a huge market. But on the other side, it's very competitive. It's very competitive. It's like because every brand from all over the world is in China, so if your brand's coming here, you are going to be competing with another thousands, thousands or maybe hundreds of brands. So I always tell the brand, you have to build your brand first. The sales comes later. Unfortunately, a lot of brands, they don't have the patience. They just want to, oh, so many people, my product's so good. Once it get there, it's going to sell very well. Everybody will buy. It's not like that. It's the competition is so huge, and then if you are here, your product is at the corner or on the shelf, and with as I said, hundreds of products. It's the consumer is going to pick whatever they heard of. They've seen on TV. They know this is good brands because I see it somewhere, and then, so the brand recognition is very important here. It's a very big market, but also complicated market, complex, and also competitive, and also saturated market.
Yeah.
Now it's all saturated. Talking about wine, it's like, oh my God, so many wines. And then right now it's like too much now. Too much. And then the desire hasn't built enough yet. So now all this wine jammed at the inventory, at the storage, is trying to figure out ways to get rid of them. So it's another issues the foreign brands don't understand the market, and then they make another mistakes. They're so eager to sell, and then maybe for some reason they do sell, within a month, 3 months, and then after that, it's nothing. There's no sales, because another thing I want to stress is the situation change so fast in China. Every week something new, new trends, So your product is popular maybe last month, and this month for some reason it's not popular anymore. Or your restaurant was popular and doing well in the past a year, 3 years, and then one day all of a sudden you don't see people come to your restaurant and you don't know why. So it's like the new trends come so fast, because even if you do the right thing, you didn't do anything wrong, still you feel like one day nobody come to my restaurant. Why? Because around you, your neighborhood, so many new restaurants coming up. Let's say 5 new restaurants coming up, and the consumer want to try something new. You say, hey, there's a new restaurant, let's go try. So they don't come to your restaurant. So it's like it's very, very, what's the word? It's very, very stimulating to do business here. Let's use that word, stimulating. So every day you have to watch what's happening today, and you have to know the trend, and you have to adapt. You have to change your strategy. You have to be flexible, adapt. And some of the big huge corporate, right? And then they have to, let the headquarters in another country to make the decision. And the headquarters, you have to wait for 3 months to make the decision. After 3 months, the whole situation is different. Yeah. And then, you know what I mean? And then that's why they all, in the end, they get out of China market. Because you have to adapt. You have to be flexible. You have to be quick making decisions. Once you are slow and situation is different, changed. Your decision made 5 months ago doesn't work anymore now. So it's very, very interesting, fast changing environment. It's like 1 year in China, it's like 5 years in other countries. It's like, it's just incredible. Every day something.
See, actually, you've just answered a question that I was going to ask you, because, there are many, and I know even in the yachting industry, any industry really, there's many industries that are heading over to China wanting to do business. And every industry that you see, I mean, even working in media, companies and corporations take 6 months to make a decision, because we've got to talk to this person, we've got to talk to this person, we have to talk to our CEO, we have to, there's so many meetings that go on, and by the time that they've made all those decisions, it's like, well, there's no point. You've just lost the window of movement. And so when these companies are heading over to China and they're doing business the way Western companies do business, they're going to lose any chance they have of making any headway, just for the simple fact that they aren't willing to change the way they do business for a different culture and a different marketplace.
It's very true. Yeah, it's very true. And then I'm here. Unfortunately, you're not here. But if you're here, you see so many big corporation, international brands, huge brands, and then they shut down the store, and then close down, or they get out of the market, or that they sold this, they're being bought by a Chinese company or whatever. So it doesn't matter how big is your company, and China is let's say it's not an easy market. It's not because you are so big. It's too big to fall. You do so well in your own country. You do so well in other market, but in China, you may not succeed, because this is a very unique and super competitive and ever-changing market. So it's I just want to say, it's like you cannot say, oh, my brand does so well in my own country. My brand is good quality. My brand has long history. My brand is famous in my own country, so it will do very well in China. It's not true. It's never like that, Yeah. So here it's totally different game. You have to start from like scratch. It's like just think you are not famous. You have to think everything, rethink about your strategy. Unfortunately, many brands, it's hard for them, to think.
I would assume, though, that if they were thinking of getting into that marketplace, that finding someone like you would be a very good place to start, because not only do you know the marketplace, but you're an influencer in China. I mean, with almost 2 million viewers that watch you and watch every move you make, as it were, you're an influencer. So social media is the place to be. Chinese marketplace is affected by social media, and you have that marketplace. So for people wanting to break into the marketplace, someone like you would be ideal, would you not?
Yes, I mean, it's very true, yeah. But every brand got their own plan, right? And then they're
Yeah.
saying, oh, most of brands just want me to sell the product, as I was mentioning before. It's like, oh, you can just sell my product,
Yeah.
to your fans, and it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
I can't just like say, oh, I got this product, can you buy? Because the consumer, even my fans, they have to know what it is. They have to compare. The final decision is made by the consumer. I cannot force them to buy. It's like,
Yeah.
and there's so many factors. And first of all, I have to put out the contents about you. I have to make, I'm the link, but it's going to take some time. It's not like, this is the product, it's good, buy it, or whatever. So everything takes time. It takes time to build the bridge, takes time to build the trust, takes time to raise your profile. After some time, and people think, oh, okay, let me think about it, let me try. So I can make your product being known to the market. But it's the consumer that have to make the decision. There's a lot of factors. Like pricing. If the price is good, do I need this? How does this compare to the other products? But I will push it. I'll put it in front of the consumer. That's the first step, right? But many brands, they don't want to commit the budget. They don't want to commit. They have no budget at all. Like,
Yeah.
oh no. We just want to sell. I just want you to find a distributor for me. I want you to sell, and once you find a distributor for me, we'll start to sell. They sell very well. So they don't want to commit resources. They don't want to commit the budget, and they're not even patient. It's like they're not even patient. They want to start to sell right now. So it's sometimes it's very difficult to convey this, to communicate with them, especially if they haven't been to China market yet. Yeah. So there's always that gap between the reality of the market here and also their expectation there.
Yeah.
It's like building a brand takes some time. It's not like, oh no, I'm good to sell. It's not like that. As I said, because it's just so much competition here, the brands, the products, too many products.
Well, I mean, I guess if you look
have,
into it as from the form of starting a new business, because it doesn't matter in Western countries, you may have the best product on the market, but when you take that to the Chinese market, it's like starting a new business. And they say, as in research, when you're starting a business, they say it takes about 2 years to start making a profit. So I don't care how big you are. When you're going into a brand new marketplace such as China, and especially in the yachting market, for example, it's not traditionally something that the Chinese marketplace has been excited about, is yachting, and just now is it starting to become something that is popular. So if you're considering this as a brand new business in China, we're looking at about a 2-year window of time to sort of establish and time to create that trust, as you say. So it's not going to happen immediately. And I think corporations, especially large corporations, have forgotten that at one stage they had to start and they were beginning, and they forget what that's like. They're used to going into a new marketplace. I just off the top of my head, Range Rover, or some of those bigger names. They're used to going to marketplace. They've already got this, the Western world, they've already got it all sort of sorted out. And they know that the minute they launch, they're going to go take off. But that's not the way it works.
Correct. Yeah, and also as we said we build we raise your profile. We build a desire. So that's how we create a desire from video and social media. And so we want to make people, oh, that's very cool. That one looks very whatever. This food looks pretty good. The cheese or whatever milk, or that yachting life looks so cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we should take a vacation to wherever, Thailand or some other country, do a charter, whatever. But so we create desire, and then also of course build trust. And then if we are new in the market, there's no trust there. It's like, oh, I don't know, I never heard of them, I don't know, I'm not going to buy that. It's like, and also they don't know how to use the product, they don't know when to drink, how to drink, they're not going to buy it. So there's a process, there is a time process there. There's a work to do. It's not just throw in the market, the product is going to sell by itself. It's not like that.
No. Well, and I mean, you yourself, you have managed to, over the last 10 years, you have managed to create a brand for yourself. But it's taken you 10 years, and every year it's bigger and better, and you're adding more shows. And like you said, next year, the one thing that we haven't touched on yet actually is your networking events. I was really interested about that because I've been seeing, sort of different posts that you've done, and what a great success they were. Tell me a little bit more about your networking events, because I'm interested in those.
Okay, sure. We've been doing video for many years. I have all the fans talking about video, blah blah blah, and then digital. Right now, everybody is digital. So I have so many contacts on WeChat. WeChat is very popular in China. So many people I never met. It's like so many thousands of WeChat contacts. Some of them I don't even know who they are. What do they do? So I'm like, oh. People really need to meet face to face. It's like when you do business transaction, it's easier to make the transaction if you meet people face to face. You trust them, you gotta feel, who they are, how do you feel about them. And I all have these fans, and actually they do ask me. They said, oh, when, for example, from the wine show, when do you have wine tasting, right? So but and ask me all the questions about events. So I feel, maybe I should consider. And I started doing some events for clients, for brands, and then it was very successful. Wine tasting event, something like that. And then so I just started and say, hey, afternoon tea, I have time over the weekend, right? So I just started and then make a poster, start to promote, and they came. So first one is very successful. So I just do it. I started about a year ago, actually exactly 13 months ago. Since then, I did every single month, except 1 month as the Chinese New Year, because the Chinese New Year, the whole country is just consumed by Chinese New Year. I'm very busy, everybody's busy, so I didn't do for Chinese New Year in that month. Every month I do at least once afternoon tea events. Because of our wine content, we have not a one connections, one brand. So I added the weekend evening networking, one networking event. So basically we have one, for the events. So one now I have weekend. It's all over the weekend. Afternoon tea, and then also in the evening we have wine. Sometimes I get one brand to sponsor me, wine for my event. So one reason is that as I do it, I really enjoy it. It's like I get a lot of energy. I meet people. It's an opportunity for me to meet them too. It's networking for me too. I know them on WeChat, but never met them. So I meet them in person. Hey, oh, maybe we should do that together. And then there is some generate business opportunities or partnership. And then the other people came, and they either made some business connection, and some of the girls actually become good friends. It's like social. Some I become social networking, and some friends say, oh, when they are at my events, I'm very happy, just relaxed, and then just relaxed and very happy. I said that's okay too. You came out because you're so stressed. People in Shanghai, has a lot of pressure because the big city, fast paced. People have a lot of work. have a lot of stress at work. So you come out and meet new people. We have food, we have coffee, we have some, tea or wine. It's just a good environment, atmosphere. Meet people and also just relax. And also I connect with them. It's like sometimes some people are a little shy, and then I'll say, oh, hey, this is who and who you should meet, you should talk about, blah, blah, blah. So every time it's just, I really enjoy so much. And then they also enjoy, and some of them come every time. If they can come, they come every single time. I'm like, okay, I don't reject it. And then So I'm going to continue to do it, and also the next year I want to do a bigger one. Maybe some of them maybe might be B2B, more focused, business focused. Could be food beverage sector, could be travel, could be fashion, could be makeup. So I'm trying to for my afternoon tea, I'm trying to give a theme. I did two in afternoon tea events. One is how to reduce stress and anxiety. Another one is how to about the power of positive thinking. I have two guests to talk about the topics, and it's received very, very well. So in future, next year I'll do more themed events, and then people feel they learn something, and also it's an opportunity for them to network. So this
I think that's lovely that you doing that, because something that we're doing here at Yachting International Radio as well was that we've noticed that people are desperately looking for ways to reduce stress. I think in today's society, straight across the face of the planet, everyone is getting more and more stressed out. They are wondering how to take the next step in their life, and just the ability to say, you know what, this is how you can handle that side of things, and this is how you can change your thinking to more positive thinking. That's brilliant, and it's nice to see that that's happening, that you're doing that in China, as well as I know here as well, many people are doing that, as well as our lifestyles have changed so much in 20 years, and it's all about the rush and the struggle and how well we're doing and can we make it, and how to make more money. But sometimes we just need to sit back and enjoy what we have, I think. And maybe your networking is doing that.
Exactly. Yeah, because I know, it's like I'm stressed sometimes, a lot of pressure, and then everybody is, especially, and sometimes it's almost, there's a money involved. People want to make more money. Sometimes when you have more money, you are also stressed, right? Relationships with at work, relationships at home, and so it's a lot of stress from different. From everywhere, from everywhere. So I'm like, okay, the people really need this. So I think it's very meaningful, and also very important for people's life.
Well, it's lovely to see you getting people together, because I think in today, yes, social media is everywhere and it's a great way to market, but I think we've lost touch with humanity and the fact that we are connecting only over social media as opposed to actually getting together in person. So you're taking your expertise and earning money and helping others earn money through social media, but at the same time, you're bringing them together and making that personal connection, and that's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I enjoy it. Myself, I enjoy doing it. So I will continue to do it, and more. I will diversify and do more events with some themes, interesting themes. Yeah.
Well, they say the only way to be successful in any business is to be able to diversify and to be able to change course at a second's notice if there is a need for that. And you obviously are able to do that with your partner, Rick, and see where there's openings in the marketplace that you can, move into, which is great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I know that you're a busy lady, and you've got a lot going on today. We've been trying to get a hold of you for the last couple of weeks, and you've been so busy filming your different lifestyle shows that we're blessed to have you today. Thank you. Yeah. But I wanted to reiterate to people that I will post a link up to your YouTube page. There are 4 shows up there now, and as you did mention, you're going to be adding more as time goes on. And so I really would encourage the viewer and the listener to head on over to the YouTube page and check it out, because it's really interesting. And if you're a foodie like me, you'll enjoy every single second of it. I hope that you actually put some of the cooking shows up, because I'm not a very good cook, but I love to eat. So I would love to learn a few tricks of the trade, as it were.
Okay, I will. I just I take some time to do it. Gradually it takes some time, but I will definitely.
Excellent. Well, if you are interested in that, I will have those links up on our Facebook page as well. If you're interested in hearing more from Sarah in the future, I'm sure we're going to have her back. So don't forget to sign up to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, Instagram, because we share all of our stuff on social media. So we'd love to have you subscribe to Yachting International Radio. This has been another episode of Coffee and Conversation. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Ria. It's my pleasure. I really enjoyed it. See you next time soon.
Yes. You've been listening to Yachting International Radio.